Hello and welcome to Third Degree Food. I am Sam Caterer, and today I'm going to be showing you how to cook real authentic Neapolitan margherita pizza in a barbecue. You did hear me correctly. We're going to be cooking our Neapolitan margherita in a Weber barbecue with the Only Fire wood-fired pizza attachment. Obviously, as you can see, I'm dressed for the occasion in my Pizzaiolo t-shirt, and we have all our ingredients before us. We've got our pizza dough that's been proving for 48 hours with a 70% hydration. Fresh yeast as well, so it's nice and viscous on the stretch when you make your pizza bases. We've got our San Marzano tomatoes, which have been infusing with basil, some salt and some olive oil for the last 4 hours or so. We've got our mozzarella, Bufala mozzarella, straight from Naples this morning in a polystyrene box. I've got about 6 of them in the fridge. They're absolutely banging. And I've got some pecorino romano just to grate over the top, and some olive oil just to frizzle up the organic basil we will be dressing the pizza with. And of course, we've got our Caputo 00 flour, which we made our dough from. So there's a couple of stages to this process, and they're all quite important. Number one, it gets very hot, so have some kind of protection, gloves wise, what have you, when you're putting the pizza in with the peel. Number two, you need to get your stone up to around 500 or 600 degrees, there or thereabouts, between 400 and 600 degrees really, but you want it peaking around sort of 5-ish, just because you get a nice crisp bottom on the bottom of the pizza. So what we're going to do is we're going to go outside. First of all, apologies in advance, but this is central London. There's going to be buses, people shouting, taxis, dogs yapping, the lot. So apologies in advance for the background noise. We are shooting on location after all. So yeah, come with me. Let's go into the garden, and we're going to fire up the barbecue. So, welcome to outside. It is an absolutely glorious day, perfect conditions for cooking our Neapolitan wood-fired margherita. Let me introduce you to the equipment. Right here we got the Weber barbecue. Had this for about 15 years. It's a solid piece of kit for cooking outside. And we have the Only Fire wood-fired pizza attachment. The most important thing here is to get the oven up to temperature and the stone as well up to around 500 degrees. There's many ways you can start your barbecue, either with kindling, a bag of coal, or with a chimney. Today I'm going to be using a bag of coal because it's just quicker, and I want to get it up to temperature as fast as we can for the purpose of the video. Okay, so let's get into it. Just hang that on the back. There. So we've got a bag of coal in here, just normal petrol station malarkey. Give that a little light on the side. Okay, so whilst this is coming up to flame, I'm going to get the pizza stone and put it in, because you want to start warming this through now. Place it fairly near the middle. With this barbecue attachment, you have to offset where the handles are so it doesn't get in the way of your peel. This is flaming quite nicely now as well, so what I'm going to do is grab a couple of bits of wood. This is like normal big K kiln dried, just wood-fired pizza wood. It's about £3 a bag, but it adds so much heat to the oven. Just chuck those 2 bits on there. I have modified my barbecue as well, taking out the back slat, as it were, in order for you to just pop some wood down there. So, whilst this comes up to temperature, I'm going to pop the lid on. We've got a couple of temperature gauges here, one at the top and one at the side. And we're also going to use the digital reader for the stone, just to make sure that we're popping around 400, 500 degrees, there or thereabouts. Obviously with the vent as well, you want to keep that closed, because the convection is going to drag the heat over the top of the pizza and beautifully melt your top. We're going to let that go for a little while and warm up. So whilst we do that, we're going to put together our pizza. So our pizza stone is very nearly up to temperature. The Only Fire attachment on the Weber barbecue is doing an absolutely sterling job. The only thing left to do now is to start assembling our Neapolitan margherita pizza. So we're going to put the cheese aside just for now. And if you remember from a previous video, I showed you how to stretch the pizza doughs with the backs of your hands. There's a very, very easy, simple technique, and it doesn't stress the dough too much. You don't put your hand through it. So first of all, we're just going to flour our surface just liberally, because you want to start, just flour your hands as well, because you want to start manipulating this dough. Be very gentle with your dough. Use the spatula. Okay, now, if you remember correctly, this is what we do. We start with a centimetre around the outside, which forms the cornicione. This is the bit that contains the air and gives you that lovely, light, chewy, but crispy crust. And we just push up through the pizza. We've got a little bit of flour on the back of that. We can dust that off. Okay, turn it round. And again, you can see the air in this cornicione. There's one more pass on that. Okay, we'll just brush all that off. Yep, okay. Keep pushing it around. Just take your time. There's no rush when it comes to pizza. The oven's still got to come to temperature. Just treat it with a bit of love. A little bit of love goes a long way, especially when you're making margherita. So we just pick it up, let it flop over the backs of our hands, let the warmth of our hands relax the dough. Very easy. Okay, we just place that down on the work surface. Like I said, there's a bit too much flour on it. We can sort that out. Okay, now we've got a fantastic, nicely stretched dough. Give it one more little stretch on the backs of our hands. Okay, and there we have it. So, next we need to start arranging our pizza. There's a lot of controversy whether you should make the pizza on the bench or on the peel. If you're new to making pizza, I highly advise making your pizza on the peel because it avoids a lot of issues later on, putting a hole through it, ripping it, what have you, when you put it onto the peel. So for the intent and purpose of this video, I'm going to make the pizza on the peel. So first of all, you will need to get some semolina flour and liberally dust your peel. Very fine semolina. You just basically want to create a barrier so your pizza base slides off nicely. Okay, so there we go. That's on the peel. Just make sure it moves. Nice. We're very nearly up to temperature on the barbecue. Next, we get a spoon, and we're going to start layering our tomato, San Marzano tomato sauce onto the pizza. A couple of spoonfuls will be all right. Maybe 3. You don't want too much of this. Because you don't want a wet, soggy pizza. That'll do nicely. Next up, it's time for the start of the show. But before I do that, I'm just going to go and check the temperature of the stone outside. Okay. 380 degrees. We are ready to rock and roll. Okay, like I was saying, this is time for the start of the show now. I'm going to start putting the mozzarella on. There's a lot of controversy and old wives' tales about how you apply your mozzarella, whether to cut it or to rip it or what have you. For the purpose of this video and the interests of balance, I'm going to cut it into strips just because you get a uniformity and you know where you are. You can use fior di latte or you can use fresh mozzarella. Just remember, if you're using fresh mozzarella, don't put too much in one place because it will give you a soggy bottom. Okay. Remember, you can check us out on all our social networks, thirddegreefood.com. Give us a little like and share, like and subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss any of the other videos that are coming up when they get put out. And of course, we've got a merchandise shop as well where you can buy all sorts of trivets, aprons, caps, t-shirts, the lot. It's a really good store, all a bit of fun, and we could really do with some support, and any support is greatly appreciated. Right, let's give this a little move around. This is looking absolutely banging. Just going to chuck a little bit of mozzarella on there. Try and get the drier bits if you can with the outside skin on. Like I said, this has just come in this morning from Naples, from my friend from Torre del Greco. He brings me a little box, polystyrene box with about 6 or 8 mozzarellas in. It's absolutely divine. However, if you can't get that, any brand will do in the UK, but it's just for that extra little bit of flavour on there. Next up, I'm going to get some basil. Our oven sounds like it's definitely ready. Okay. We're just going to break up the basil over the top. Not too much, but just enough to frizzle up when you put the olive oil on. Now, one very important ingredient I feel for any margherita pizza is pecorino romano, just over the top. It helps keep your base dry. Colours of the Italian flag right there. Beautiful. Bellissimo. Right, and a little bit of olive oil over the top. Not too much. You just want to kiss the basil with it. You get the lovely saltiness from the pecorino romano. So, give that a little move on the peel. It's looking absolutely fluid. And our pizza oven is nearly ready. So, we're just about to put our delicious Neapolitan pizza margherita into the oven. Before we do that, we just need to make sure that the stone is up to a decent temperature. And we are, it's just touching 400 degrees. So we're going to go in with our pizza. Now this won't take very long at all to cook. I'm going to get it right into the back of the oven. So I like to use a long pair of tongs, especially I'm using the Only Fire pizza attachment because it can get very hot, way above normal operating temperatures. And I also changed from a wooden peel to place the pizza in the oven to a metal peel to take it out. You don't want to damage your equipment because the heat is quite extreme. So let's have a look at our pizza. I think we are nearly ready. Yeah, maybe just one turn and back in. Okay, so it's time for our pizza to come out of the oven. Looking absolutely fantastic. Now it's very important to let your pizza rest, but also we want to just check the bottom of the pizza. That is absolutely incredibly cooked. That is going to be a delicious pizza. We just have to let her rest for about 3 or 4 minutes before we tuck in, but I guarantee that's going to be an absolute fantastic pizza. Okay, so our pizza has cooled sufficiently, enough at least to put in your mouth without ending up in the hospital. So we're going to cut our pizza. Beautiful, listen to that crust. Absolutely delicious. That's exactly what you want. I'm going to get into our pizza. This is as close to authentic Neapolitan wood-fired pizza as you're going to get. Smells absolutely fantastic. Remember, give us a little like and share down below. Follow us on all the social medias, thirddegreefood.com, at Third Degree on Insta, and of course on Facebook as well. Right, I'm going to get into this pizza because I cannot wait any longer. And the way to eat your Neapolitan pizza, you fold it and you fold it. Look at that. Absolutely delicious undercarriage. Mm. Mm. There are no words. That is absolutely outrageous. Delicious, unctuous. The flavors in there there is so much flavor in there from the tomato and the basil and the mozzarella. The crust is lovely and crispy. Mm. Mm. Absolutely fantastic. Excuse me for talking with my mouth full. I can't stop eating as I can't wait to get in the rest of it. Well, thank you very much for watching. I've been Sam Caterer, and this has been Third Degree Food, showing you how to cook real authentic Neapolitan pizza on an Only Fire Weber barbecue attachment. Hope you've enjoyed it. Give us a little like and subscribe down below. As I say, every like and subscribe is greatly appreciated. And drop us a little comment as well. Thank you very much. I will see you soon. Nice.